Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalie. In case you're new here, today I'm going to be sharing with you how I color grade my footage. This video is in collaboration with Dehancer, which I was very excited about because I love their plugin so much. And I'm just going to show you how I color grade my videos for Instagram and sometimes some of the blogs that you see here. Not always because they're really long and this is like a long process. So yeah, I'm going to show you what I do. So to begin, I use Final Cut Pro as my editing software, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but honestly I found it the easiest to use. Other people prefer doing DaVinci, but I get better results with Final Cut Pro just because I know how to use it better. So we are gonna have our footage here that is on log. I record on a Canon R8 in the log 3, so we need to convert this into Rec 709. So we're gonna do it by dropping a custom LUT and then choosing the profile we want, which is the Canon log 3. And you might be asking, why don't you just record right away or Rec 709? And it's because on log you have way more flexibility over the footage. So now we are gonna add a wheel, color wheel, and we're gonna put this layer before the color transform. This way we're actually editing the log file and not just the Rec 709, otherwise it would make no sense. So what we're gonna do here is change our shadows. So our shadows are gonna be negative 0.01. and our saturation is gonna be here 1.12, and then we're gonna change here the color to 1. Our midtones, we're gonna get it down to negative 0.07, and then we're gonna put the exposure on 1.08, and then we are gonna change the colors, the rest to 3, and here 1. There you go. And I'm not gonna do anything to the highlights. So if you see it on the wheels, it's a little bit tinted green on the shadows and a little bit tinted like pink on the midtones, and the highlights I'm not doing anything to them. So now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna put our Dehancer. So we're gonna put Dehancer, and the Dehancer is gonna be under the custom LUT because this is gonna start editing on top of the Rec 709. So we recorded on Rec 709, then we're gonna just turn this on. And the field profile that I'm gonna be using is Kodak Vision 3500T because it's the one I like the most. But I also like Kodak Ektar 100 or Porta 400, but this one I like because it's very soft and I like soft footage. These we're gonna push it to the right to 0.49 to give it a little bit more of warmth because I really like warm footage. We're gonna show the developer. We're gonna turn it on. We're gonna boost it to 33, and then the gamma correction is gonna be negative 34 to control those highlights. And this day was really sunny, so the sun was really harsh, and then the gamma correction is gonna help control that a little bit. And we are gonna boost the color to 28. The field compression, I'm just gonna turn it on, but I'm not gonna do anything to it. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is go to print, and Dehancer has many options there. It has linear, it has Fujifilm, the Kodak 2383, that's the one I usually use, and Kodak Endura. And I think I'm gonna go with the Endura because I really like the colors in there, and I'm just gonna brighten this a little bit. And then you can play around with the tonal contrast. I like contrasting a little bit, so I'm just gonna put it in there. And then you can also play like the color density, which doesn't really make much of a difference, but I'm just gonna put it up a little bit. I think I'm gonna put a little bit more of exposure and a little bit more of tonal contrast. Okay, now I'm gonna play with color head. This is like going deeper in the color grading, and what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna put more of yellow, going to the yellows, gonna go a little bit to the magenta side, and then I'm gonna go to the red side. And I'm gonna play with the tones of my shadows, so I'm gonna go warmer on shadows and warmer on the highlights, but just a little bit. So you can see the difference. It's very subtle, but you can like see how it warms up the footage. Now for film grain, you have many options, but I like customing mine, and I will go to a small size and I will put the amount lower just because I don't like my footage that intense with the grain. I like a little bit cleaner, so that's why I don't use as much. And then for the halation, it's like the red thing that goes on the highlights. And just turn it on, you can see the difference right away. Look at those reds in here. And then I'm gonna go to custom, and I'm gonna put my hue down and then amplify down, because I like it subtle, so I don't like it that intense. And then for the bloom, I'm gonna turn it on. You can see the difference. I love it, it's just so whimsical. I'm gonna go to custom as well, and I'm just gonna put it down a little bit because I don't like it as in your face. And this is pretty much all I do with the Dehancer. And then after you're done with the Dehancer, you can just come to your color wheels again and make any adjustments that you think you need. I honestly think it looks pretty good, so I'm just gonna put my highlights a little bit higher and put my midtones lower a little bit on the shadows down, and that's it. That's pretty much all. So you can see before and after. I'm gonna just turning them off little by little so you can see the difference. So first we correct 709, basic color correction and a little bit of grading, and then the magic happens with the Dehancer. And that's all. I hope it was helpful. As I said, I'm not really a professional. This is all self-taught. Probably did a lot of things wrong, but let me know if you have any suggestions, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you use the Dehancer or you're interested, I'm gonna leave my code in the description box so you can have 10% off and play around with it. It's super worth it. Thank you for being here, and I see you in the next video. Bye.